Theodore Roosevelt, also known as Teddy Roosevelt, was the 26th President of the United States and served 2 terms from 1901 to 1909. He is known for being a dynamic and energetic leader who made significant changes in both domestic and foreign policy during his presidency. Teddy Roosevelt is known for being a strong advocate for conservation and preserving the natural beauty of the United States. He set aside more land for national parks and forests than any other president before him. He established the U.S. Forest Service to be responsible for managing the nation's forest and grasslands. He also established the National Wildlife Refuge System to protect areas of land and water that are important for the conservation of fish, wildlife, and plants. Teddy Roosevelt also signed the Antiquities Act, which gave him the authority to designate national monuments, and used this power to protect many important archaeological and natural sites, including the Grand Canyon and Devil's Tower. Theodore Roosevelt also established laws to protect the public. He signed the Pure Food and Drug Act, a federal law that established the Food and Drug Administration, or just the FDA. This agency is responsible for regulating the safety of food and drugs in the United States. It prohibits the manufacture, sale, or transportation of any food or drug that is contaminated, misbranded, or adulterated. It requires for labels to be accurate and ingredients to be listed. Before this act was passed, there were no federal standards for food and drug safety in the United States. Many products sold were unsafe for consumption, and this act was established to mitigate that problem. The Meat Inspection Act was passed by Congress in 1906. Its purpose was to improve the safety and quality of meat products in the United States and to protect the public from contaminated or diseased meat. Prior to the act, meatpacking facilities were unsanitary and many instances of contaminated or diseased meat being sold occurred. Under the act, federal officials were required to inspect meat products before they were shipped across state lines. Meatpacking facilities were also required to meet certain standards for cleanliness and sanitation, and to keep records of their inspection results. When it came to international matters, Theodore Roosevelt won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1906 for his role in mediating the Russo-Japanese War. This war lasted from 1904 until 1905, and was the first modern war in which a Western power, Russia, was defeated by an Eastern power, Japan. President Theodore Roosevelt invited both leaders to the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard in New Hampshire, and on September 5, 1905, the Treaty of Portsmouth was signed. Theodore Roosevelt also played a big role in the construction of the Panama Canal, a man-made waterway that connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean in order to expedite the transportation of goods and people between the two oceans. Originally, the French made an attempt at building the Panama Canal, but were hit by setbacks along the lines of financial difficulties, engineering problems, and a high mortality rate due to disease such as malaria and yellow fever. They abandoned the project in 1889, after spending millions of dollars and losing thousands of lives. With the French failure, the United States became interested in building the Panama Canal. President Teddy Roosevelt sent a team of engineers to assess the feasibility of building the canal. Once they confirmed the possibility, Roosevelt needed to secure the rights to build the canal from a hesitant Colombian government. In order to overcome this obstacle, Roosevelt supported a group of Panamanian rebels who were seeking independence from Colombia. The rebels declared independence on November 3, 1903, and Roosevelt recognized the new Republic of Panama as an independent nation. The United States and Panama then signed the Hay-Bunau-Varilla Treaty, which granted the United States the rights to build and operate the Panama Canal. In return, the United States agreed to pay Panama an initial sum of $10 million and an annual payment of $250,000, which was later increased to $400,000. The construction of the Panama Canal began in 1904 and was completed in 1914. The canal has played a significant role in international trade and has had a lasting impact on global commerce and transportation.